G'day mates, Train Simulator Driver here. Going to give you a quick lightning tutorial on getting started with the Class 101 diesel multiple unit. I strongly recommend you watch the LMS videos for how to drive one of these beasties. But let's get started. So we've got our, going to need the HUD on, handbrake is released, but our engines aren't running at the moment. So we need to do that first up. Let us turn on our master switch down here, which is actually already on. So I'll show you anyway. We can turn it off and we can turn it on with the button. Now we can see how none of our engines are running. So we hit the engine start button on the Raildriver. Hold that until they're running. There they go. There's no engine stop button on the Raildriver. The next one is I'll enable the warning devices and enable the AWS and reset the AWS. Okay, so we are actually in a scenario, but I'm not going to worry too much about that. Let's just show you what we're doing. Let's close our door. Okay, we have the driver's brake with the applied position, the lap position, which just holds the pressure it's got, and the release position. So you can see the needle going up now. If I bring it back to lap, the needle's just sitting on 15. If I go back into the apply area, it drops some air out. This brake is a bit of a pig, so you'll need to learn how to use it. Okay, so I'm just going to apply about down to the 15 again, just to hold it still while we're doing the rest of this tutorial. Other things to know about, we have our gears on the button up here. We have our reverser, which is currently in the off position, so let's put it in the forward position. We also have the reverse position, so let's just keep it in forward. We have got our horn. We've got the tachometer here, which is really, really important. We have a AWS reset button, and we can put on our marker lights, so right or left side. We can put our wipers on if we want to. Let's get rid of that because they're a bit loud and annoying. And we have our throttle over here, so I'll show you that in just a moment. First up, let's set our gears up. So we want to go back up to first gear. Okay, there we go, we're up in first gear. You can hear the engine revs have changed. Now I'm completely ignoring the HUD, and in fact I'm going to turn it off because I don't really care about this as a scenario. Let's start throttling, and we shall release the brake over there so that we start moving. You release just after you engage the first bit of throttle. Don't know why the frame counter's on. Now on this one you throttle up. When you reach the upper position, like now, throttle back to 0, let it drop down below the down, and then select the next gear. Then throttle again. Don't be in a hurry to do this, or you'll find that you're not going anywhere. Let me just turn on the cab light so you can see a bit better, and our panel lights. So again, we throttle up to the highest position. We get into that triangular zone on the right there labelled up. Okay, it's time to change gears. So same thing, let the revs drop and then change gear. That went all the way to 4, it shouldn't have. That was our AWS telling us about a green signal, which we can see in front of us. So we continue to accelerate. Now let's say this is as fast as we want to go, so we throttle off, and very important, change into 4th gear and leave it sit in 4th. When you're coasting, it needs to be in 4th gear. If you throttle on now, you'll probably find it's right near the bottom of that range. It would be okay, but if you really want to accelerate, you're going to have to change back to 3rd. So we'll do that and then accelerate. You can see it gets going again. So let's bring the train to a halt now. So I'm going to stop it. I'm going to put it in 4th for coasting, and then I'm going to start applying the brake. Let's just give it a little bit. You can see how little effect it has, almost nothing. Let's take it down to 10. Starting to feel that we are slowing down now. give it some more. And we'll give it one last push to actually bring us to a halt. Now if I decide that I'm going slow enough and I want to release it, I can. Now importantly, I can release it a little bit. But let's release it all the way so that we're moving again. Now if we tried to accelerate now, put that back in the lap position, we'd actually stall the engines and we'd have to restart them. So what I need to do, we're going quite slowly, 10 mile an hour. I need to bring it back to second gear, and now I can accelerate. So give it a notch and let it take up. Second gear might have even been a little bit slow, but we'll cope with it. So if you find yourself going up a hill and the train is slowing down, I'll just change into third and then we'll come back again. So throttle off, let the revs drop right down, change into third gear, and off we go again. Now if you find the opposite thing, let's say you're going up a steep hill and you need to change down a gear to go back to second, it's the same sort of thing. Throttle off, let the revs drop right down, and then back into second. And then throttle on again. And then you can accelerate again. So, that's the quick, oops, don't want to go into neutral. That's the quick tutorial for this locomotive. Let's just come to a halt. And then I'll show you reversing, because it's basically the same. Come to a complete stop. Now this is something I always do when I'm in the stations, is I pre-release, so I take it back up. But not all the way, because I don't want the train brakes to actually come off. Okay, back into lap. Now we're going to go into neutral, and then we're going to take it into, oops, wrong lever, clever. Then we're going to take it into reverse. Now we come back out of neutral, go back into first gear. She's amused, she's going to sit there and watch us. Okay, now we've released the train brake completely, and back we go. It's the same sequence. Doesn't matter which direction you're going. Now I've got to be careful. I hope I came far enough into the signal zone. So I just want to show you a gear change in reverse is exactly the same. Change again. Not that you'd ever really go fast in reverse, but just because I don't want to sped as part of this tutorial, let's come to a complete stop. Back into neutral, forwards, and we do the same thing again. So that's the end of this tutorial. If you liked the video, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. I stream every Sunday morning from 9 AM Australian Melbourne time. Thank you. Bye.